Merry Christmas. Welcome back to my channel. It is a different setting than usual, and whenever you see me in my kitchen, that means I'm going to be showing you a cooking video. It's the holidays, it's Christmas, and it is the time when many of us share our Christmas traditions. And a Jamaican Christmas tradition at this time of the year is usually to make Jamaican rum cake, fruit cake, black cake, whichever one you want to call it. So that is what I'll be making for you today. I know there are tons of them on YouTube that you can find and make your own or tweak whatever way you want, but I wanted to share how I make it. It's also our family tradition to make Christmas cakes, so I wanted to share how we make our Christmas cake, and it's also another way to get content on my channel. So hey, a lot of people don't know that I love to bake. I like to cook, but not so much, but I really like to bake. Whenever I bake, I feel like I'm some big chef, and I used to love watching creative kitchens on TV, and every time I'm baking, it just gives me that kind of feel, like, you know, like, okay. So that's why I like to bake. When I bake, it makes me feel like I'm like a big chef in the kitchen. Hello. So yeah, that's what I'll be doing today. I'll be sharing with you guys how to make Jamaican fruit cake, Christmas cake. And of course, we got a little white rum in there. So if you want to see how I make this and how it turns out, please continue to watch.
Alright guys, so the first thing we're going to be doing is getting our hands clean, and I have my little happy helper with me, and he's going to be helping me to make our Christmas cakes today. After we get our hands washed, we're going to set our oven to 350 degrees to preheat. After we do that, we're going to get our fruits that I had been soaking for about 3 weeks. And this is soaked in red label wine, fruit wine, and white rum. And inside this, I have raisins, red cherries, prunes, currants, and cranberries. So this is the star of our cake, you guys. This is the main ingredient, fruits. So I'm gonna puree this in the blender, and then I'll get the batter and everything ready. So here you go. I am just blending everything together, making it nice. After blending, we're going to be preparing our dry ingredients, and I'm going to be sifting my flour to prepare the cake mixture. And there you go. I just sift it with the strainer to get all the good stuff, and then we discard all the little bubbles that's left. And because I'm not baking a whole lot of cakes, I just did about 2.5 cups of flour, and I just did that to make the amount of cakes that I need. After we finished sifting our flour, I got some ground cinnamon, and I'll be using 1 tablespoon, and I just add that to my flour. Then I get some nutmeg, and I'll be doing it the old-fashioned way. So I got my grater, and I just grate it in, and just about 1 tablespoon of that as well. I love nutmeg, so I usually use a lot, or you could just use 1 whole nutmeg. Then I get some salt, and I added 1/2 tablespoon of salt. Then after we add our salt, we're going to combine all our dry ingredients together using a whisk. Just mix it all around, mix it in together nice, and combine everything. Then we put that aside. After we prepare our dry ingredients, we're going to get our wet ingredients prepared. And we also need a deep bowl that's big enough to hold our batter. we get our hand mixer, and then we're gonna get about half a cup of sugar. I don't use a lot of sugar in my cakes because I don't like it extra sweet. um, Half a cup of sugar or less, and then room temperature butter that's really soft. I had it sitting out all morning, so they're ready nice and soft. And I'm using 4 sticks of margarine or butter. And then we're just gonna um, blend this all in together. We're gonna cream the sugar and the butter, starting on low speed, number 1. And then you just want to continue doing this until you have your butter and sugar all combined nicely and they're light and fluffy. So just continue doing this until they are all nice and creamed and just beautiful and look like white frosting. After we finish creaming our sugar and butter, we're gonna get 6 eggs, and I'm using vegetarian eggs. My favorite eggs. They're light and fluffy, and yeah, they're really good. So I'll be using 6 eggs, and I'll put them in one at a time and whisking them in one at a time. That's my 3rd egg. And then just do that with all 6 eggs. Once I'm done putting all my eggs in, I'm gonna get 1 lime and just squeeze the juices of that lime in my batter just to get rid of the rawness after using so much eggs. Then I'm gonna get some vanilla. I'll be using half a tablespoon of vanilla. And then earlier I forgot to add some baking powder, so I went ahead and added some baking powder, and I'll be using about 1 tablespoon of baking powder. And now it's to add our fruits to our batter. And this was what we had blended earlier. And I like it nice and smooth, so it is very smooth. I don't like the chunks in my cake, nice and smooth. And then I just mix that in with my sugar, my butter, and egg batter, and just mix that in. After adding all my fruits, now it's time to add the flour. And I'll just be doing this a little at a time and just fold it in. Take your time. You don't want to overwork your batter. Just take your time and fold it in. Fold it in nicely. After we fold in our flour in our batter, we're just going to grease our cake tins. And this is the one I'm going to make for the house. And then I'm going to be making some to give away to my friends. So I'm greasing these small square ones as well. Then I'm gonna get some parchment paper and I'll be lining the bottom of my cake tin. After that, I'm gonna be adding some browning. I could not get the Grace browning, which is my favorite one to use, so I got this Eve one. They're all cleaned off the shelf, but it works just as well. So I added one whole bottle of browning. Depending on how you like your cake, I like mine very black, so I added a whole bottle. And then I'm just gonna mix that in nicely. And after I did that, you could see how dark it became. And believe it or not, I even went ahead and added just a little bit more from another bottle. So just about a bottle and a half of browning I added. Then it's time to pour my batter in my greased and prepared cake tins. Then you just want to pour your batter into your prepared tins, and that's what I'm doing right now, and just cleaning up any mess that's around the edges. And I managed to get 2 extra ones so I could give away, and then one for the house. Then I'm gonna pop these into the oven that's already been preheated and ready. So we're just gonna put them in and leave them. The smaller cakes are gonna bake a lot faster because they're smaller, and you leave them for about an hour. The smaller ones, I would just keep checking, maybe 45 minutes to see how well they have baked and make sure that they don't overburn. And after about 45 minutes, I took out my small cakes, and after about 45 minutes, I took them out. I inserted a knife. I don't have a toothpick in the center. And when it comes out clean, you know that it is ready. It's all baked and everything's cooked in nicely. I put those square ones to cool, and then after about an hour and 30 minutes, I went back to check on the other cake and it was ready. So I am going to cut into it and show you guys how it came out. I know the top is a bit cracked. I don't know. They always come out like that for me, but it's not how it looks, it's how it tastes, right? My cake wasn't even cooled properly, but my husband wanted to take a taste. He loves fruit cake, so I cut a piece for him and he loved it. And then I cut a piece to show you guys on camera. It's nice and moist. You can add some extra rum on top to make it nice and festive.
Alright guys, so there you have it. That is how I make my Jamaican fruitcake, Christmas fruitcake, black cake. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you found it informative, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're new and you'd like to see more content like this, please subscribe and leave a comment down below and tell me the things that you would like to see. So yeah, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and I wish you guys all the best for the new year.
The rain is pouring, it will always be Christmas.